Hey guys, welcome back to the Tea Party Podcast. It's the podcast where you find new friends and new music. And this week I'm joined by not one, not two, but three guests who are all on the bill for Farm Jam at this Labor Day weekend in Colville, Washington. Joining me this week, I've got Cort Carpenter, Jesse Quandt, and the one and only DJ Matty Parker. How the heck are you guys?
Doing good, Ty. Thanks for having us, man.
Absolutely.
The one and only. Holy cow.
I mean, is there more than
introduction?
One, Matty?
What's that?
So is there more than one? You're the only one that
Well, I don't know. I've been told. Sybil just told me the other day that she saw my twin. I don't know. Riding a bike.
Oh, that doesn't sound like you at all.
It's my stunt double.
There you go. 2 wheels is not where you live.
No, either is 4.
Well, guys, Jesse and Cort have been on here before, but Matty, let's give everybody kind of a background of who you are and kind of how you got into music and what it is exactly that you do. Because
okay,
where you're at around here, everybody knows who you are.
Basically, I'm a live music fan at heart. My parents have been traveling musicians in the country music genre since I was born and before that. I can't play music. So I got into running sound, doing audio production, started DJing weddings and corporate events, and then I started doing a lot of off-site events such as, boat cruises through the radio station and a lot of functions through the radio stations. And it really opened up my horizons as far as being known in this town for being a DJ.
Well, and that kind of led directly into what you're doing with Farm Jam, right?
It really bullseyed right exactly into that. Through Jamie, my name got around, and Farm Jam was looking for basically a DJ Silver. Everybody knows DJ Silver is associated with Watershed.
Yep.
You know, he's the kind of the guy in between bands that keep the crowd going and keep everybody hyped up. You know, and there's nothing worse than a switchover where you got a boring sound guy playing whatever he wants and has no connection with the crowd. My job will be to keep the crowd happy, promote the vendors and the sponsors, as well as introduce all the awesome talent. You know, just have fun. So that's where I got brought into the Farm Jam.
Well, and it's going to be a heck of a weekend up there if it's anything like it was last year. Jesse, is this your first year there as well?
The Farm Jam, yeah.
So, and same for you too, right, Cort?
Yeah, correct. First time.
So, Jesse, I mean, you've been around here, and I think everybody that's around country music in the Pacific Northwest kind of knows who you are just from even stumbling across you, playing at a bar or wherever. But what's it like to be able to play a festival this close to where you kind of made your name at?
Oh, it's great for 2 reasons. One, it's really easy to get the crowd drawn there. To all the people that want to come see you are always like, hey, let me come to the show. When's the next show? But they can't make it. Now they got no excuse. It's a big festival. And 2, whenever you get to play a big festival like this where, they pull out everything and it's just they're hanging the lights and everything, that's like your dream show really right there. It doesn't get any better than that. Well, it does, but that's pretty much the tops for me at least.
Well, and Cort, you got a chance to play Watershed last year, and you had one of the bigger crowds that I've seen at that Next from Nashville tent in the 5 years that I've been going to Watershed. And part of it, I think, is because you're actually from Washington and you're from kind of the lower left-hand corner of Washington. You'll be playing this festival in the upper right-hand corner. Do you expect, that traveling caravan of Cort Carpenter fans to show up there?
I do. I mean, I know we have some people already excited about it, but it's kind of cool because Watershed is the only spot I've played that's central to eastern Washington. I mean, usually, like you said, staying in the west side. So this is going to be cool. And I know we have fans up in the Spokane area, actually all over there. So I'm hoping they come out for this event.
So what's it like playing a festival versus playing a show that you're headlining? I mean, what's the prep work like? What's it like when you get there? How's that different?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think well, rephrase that question for me, Ty.
So what's different about playing a festival versus playing a show that you're headlining or playing at a bar in Nashville, something like that.
Okay, gotcha. The festivals, like Jesse said, it's different because you know, you're part of a lineup with a bunch of other, you know, people in your genre or whatever genre, and it's just you get that feeling like, man, you're under the lights, you're on the big stage, sometimes you get a catwalk or whatever, and it's just a lot different vibe than just staying in a bar and staying on stage where you can't really move. And for me, I like to move around and, you know, jump around a little bit and do that kind of stuff. So it's definitely just, it makes your like dream, the dream that you have as a singer. You're like, man, here's one of the big opportunities that we're getting, and let's make the most of it. And it's just a lot of fun. And
Jesse, I see you nodding your head there. Anything to add?
No, man, he hit the nail on the head. It's true, though. I mean, it's true. I think this is only my second big festival third big festival like this, but every time it, for some reason, feels like the first time when you step up there. The same feeling goes through your stomach, the crowd, the energy when you step on stage, the band, every little thing. It's just like the first time every time. It's amazing.
Well,
never gets old.
Hell no. Hell no.
I bet. I feel like that's a completely different experience than stepping out somewhere where people came just to see you, and you know that crowd is there because you're there, versus a festival where, yeah, some of the people are there for you, but they're also there for one of the other 6 or 8 acts that are going to be there that day.
Yeah, and I think if I can say something, I think it's cool, though, when you have all those other fans for other artists, because, like, it's your time to slip in there, and they might say, you know, who the hell is this guy? But then you blow them away some songs, and then you hook them, you know. So that's your chance to really hook someone live, because the fans are going to say, hey, they're playing this festival. Man, they must be pretty decent. Let's look them up on Spotify. And then they're just, you know, that I think that's the fun part about it. And what I always like doing is just seeing how many fans we can hook.
And that's a good way to look at it. I mean, when I look back at Watershed last year, the 2 crowds that were bigger than I expected were your crowd, and then Kip Moore on the main stage had just a massive crowd that same weekend. And I think it was just talking to people around the campgrounds. It was people that didn't know who you were prior to your name popping up on the Watershed Festival lineup. And then they looked you up and they're like, oh yeah, I want to go see this guy.
Exactly. And it's always cool for the festival, like Farm Jam. They've already been throwing some music videos out for us, and they're starting to promote it that way. And I think it's important, as did Watershed, for those promoters to do that, because for the people who don't know us, Jesse's well known over there. But like, if they don't know who I am or whoever, just having my music video of a cool song or something up, that might encourage them to come out to the set instead of, you know, staying in the campground and drinking beers when we're playing. So that's always something I look at.
Yeah, it's always way more fun to drink beer with live music than it is in the campground.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience. But Matty, what's your prep like when it comes to getting ready for a festival versus getting ready for like a boat cruise where you're just kind of playing music for that you want people to dance to versus trying to get them hyped up for the other artists?
You know, the thing is with a boat cruise, people aren't going to jump off the boat. So it's really hard for me to mess it up. They're going to dance if I play the hokey pokey. They're going to dance. But a festival is going to be fun, especially being a country music and an independent festival. You're going to have all walks of life. And that's, to me, it's a smorgasbord of people that I can entertain. I can reach out to a big, vast majority of people and get them hyped up. That's my job, is to get people in the mood. So when the artists come on stage, it paves the way for them. It makes it easier. Well, as far as prep work and stuff, I don't really have a game plan. When I see people in front of me, that'll be my game plan. I just got to keep a pace up. It's all about keeping a tempo, keeping a pace, and building the pace for the next artist. You know, you want them to walk onto a hyped crowd. That's my job. I'm
just going to start calling you Hype Man DJ Matty.
I like that.
That'd
be good.
You mentioned
hashtag it tomorrow.
There you go.
Hashtag hype man.
I like it. Well, and you talked about DJ Silver a little bit, and obviously everybody knows who that is. But
Yeah.
for people that haven't heard your style before, how would you describe what you do? I mean, is it strictly just trying to play the right song to get people hyped up, or do you have your own kind of mix and stuff like that?
I'm a big fan of Silver, and I've been to Watershed every year that it's been going on, and I always sit there and a lot of people go there to watch the bands play. I go there to watch Silver play, and I really critique what he does, and every year it's never changed. Not to bash Silver, but it's never changed. I like playing music the whole time. I don't like playing song twice. Mm-hmm. It's just it's creating a flow. It's creating an environment. And to me, especially being a festival, you want to start that weekend off with high energy, and you want to end it with high energy. So Silver's always, he's one of those guys in the country music DJ format. That's the guy. There's a few of us out there that are doing it. And it's getting more popular. A lot of artists are traveling on their tours with DJs. It's just, obviously they have opening acts, but in between changeovers, there's nothing cooler than seeing a DJ pop up. I remember watching Carrie Underwood. She did it. Dirk Bentley did it. Aldine did it. I've traveled with Jesse a few times. We went to Montana and did some crazy stuff.
Well, and I think that, when you put it that way, you're right. You go to a concert and you've got the sound guy that's playing whatever song happens to pop in. Like I've even been to shows where the sound guy ends up playing the headliner songs prior to the headliner coming up there.
Yeah, that's amateur hour.
Yeah, and I feel like having a DJ there is a completely different experience.
Well, it also benefits the festival, because they have a lot of sponsors, and to have somebody there with Farm Jam being its second year, I don't really have somebody to follow from last year. I can only make it better. And that's
only if you play the Hokey Pokey, dude. You better. You already said it.
I feel like you have remixes that are Hokey Pokey. We're gonna add that to your set list, Jesse.
I will. Test me with a good time.
The Hokey Pokey. But no, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. It's been long awaited. Greg Knight hit me up a long time ago to get this going, and it's been waiting. Now we're within 2 months away. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like forever ago that we were talking about it actually at Jesse's show, or when Jesse was opening up for Dylan Carmichael.
Dylan Carmichael, yeah.
Yeah, the holiday pop-up show that you were talking about. And now you're right. We're 2 months away from it actually happening.
And I remember Cort at Watershed, man. That was a badass little treat to watch him up there throwing koozies out.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you stopping in.
I'm excited. I've listened to you. I'm excited to see you live finally, man. I've listened to your stuff. I'm real excited when I saw you.
Thanks, man. Right back at you.
It's cool.
Well, right back at you, and it's we've never crossed paths before, and being from Washington, I like to see other guys doing it, and because there's only a few. There's not a ton of us, from the Northwest that are doing it. And so I'm excited to see you, Matty, and you, Jesse.
Absolutely.
Awesome. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a blast up there, and that's Labor Day weekend. And, Matty, how can people get tickets? Is it just farmjamfestival.com?
Yeah, that's the best route, and it'll send you right through the links to get them.
Perfect. Well, and we started talking about it a little bit, so let's just keep going down that road. We've got a couple of songs here, one from Jesse, one from Cort. We'll start with yours, Jesse. You put out an EP last year, right?
Yeah.
Called These Dreams. And my favorite song off of that EP is called Blue Collar Family Life. And I think Spotify's figured that out because
good one.
It's on all of my playlists all the time.
I love you. Thank you.
No, I appreciate that, but it's Spotify doing it. It's all those like daily mix playlists. That song is always on there, buried somewhere. So it always.
That's why I had to bail on you guys yesterday. The blue collar family life got the best of me. My day job just was rough yesterday.
That sounded like you had a rough day out there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But before we let everybody listen to this one, Jesse, give everybody kind of the background of where this story came from, because I think it's a really personal story for a lot of people, but you're the one that actually put it down on paper.
I grew up in a blue collar family. My mom and dad worked opposing shifts, relentless hours to raise his kids. And I had a stupid addiction for music at a young age, and they did what they could to fuel it. And at the end, when I graduated high school, I joined the Army. And after 8.5 years, everything kind of came together when I really started getting into writing. And this song came out, and it was just kind of like, here's the story of a lot of blue collar families that go through it. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I think it's, the best life. I know it's the only life I've ever known, but it's the best life I've ever had. Could imagine.
Here, let's let everybody take a listen to it. This one's called Blue Collar Family Life by Jesse Quandt.
Daddy spent our life growing up, working all night till the sun came up. Then in most of the day, he kissed Mama when he got home, right as she was walking out the door. Just working to make our way. A way of life, a lot of you know. Working your hands to the bone. And a blue-collar family life, I'm born and raised in it till I die. It's what I know, yeah, and it's what I love. Now hard times come, hard times go. Still one thing I'll always know is how to get a little tough in that collar of mine. Working a whole lot more than that 9 to 5. And a blue-collar family life. It's still like it was 20 years back. The big dogs and cops will give us all the flack, man. You just think that they really didn't know. Oh, hell no. With your cupboards going bare and your billfolds small, you thank God you got anything at all. But you better face life, boy. You better buck up. Yeah, realize it's a whole lot more than others have. And that's where life, you gotta take the good with the bad. Yeah, come on. In the blue-collar family life, I'm born and raised in it till I die. It's what I know, yeah, it's what I love. Yeah, hard times come and hard times go. Still one thing I will always know is how to get a little bit of dough on that collar of mine. Oh yeah, working a whole lot more than that 9 to 5. And blue-collar family life, yeah, yeah. And blue-collar family life, yeah, yeah. Ah, come on. Oh, y'all know what it is? Go on, tell me about it. Let me see your race, your race. All you 9 to 5, all you 60 hours a weekend, all you out there busting your ass. In a blue-collar family life, I'm born and raised in it till I die. It's what I know, and God, it's what I love, yeah. And hard times come and hard times go. Still one thing I will always know is how to get a little bit of dirt on that collar of mine, yeah. Working a whole lot more than that 9 to 5. Doing what we gotta do just to survive, yeah. On a blue-collar family life, yeah.
one was Blue Collar Family Life by Jesse Quandt. And honestly, man, the recorded version of your songs does not do your live show justice.
Thank you.
Do you have anything special planned for Farm Jam? Something for people to look out for?
Yeah, there's several new songs coming out. The new single that I'll be releasing later this summer will also be playing. And also, this will be the first festival where my sponsor and I have actually gotten together, Spin Rodeo, and traveled together. So they'll be out there as one of the vendors having a dual slot, with the rodeo company and everything. And it should be a pretty good time. But musically, a lot of new material, and then all leading up to the release of the new album at the end of this year. Nice.
That'll be awesome. I'm excited for new music. I know it's only been like 8 months, but it's been too long.
Yeah.
So, Cort, you also sent us over a song here so that everybody can kind of hear what your sound is, and it's called One Thing, and it's not the studio version. It's a little bit different. Tell us what song we have here.
So, this is one of my slower love song type things. It's the last single I had. But what we did was we got into Blackbird Studio here in Nashville, which is a, pretty cool spot to go record some live stuff in, or record anything in. But we did a live video. You can find it on YouTube. It's just Cort Carpenter, One Thing, live at Blackbird, and you can hear the song. So it's a stripped down version of my release from I don't know when I released it. Was it February? I'm losing track of time.
But, it feels like it's been 10 years since February.
Yeah, I guess February. Yeah, it was Valentine's Day, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I released. So so it's just a stripped down version. Sounds similar, but it's just kind of like more stripped. So I sent that one over to you.
Well, let's let everybody take a listen to it. This one is Cort Carpenter with One Thing from Blackbird Studio in Nashville.
I never was top of my class. If I was pushed, I was pushing back. I never was lucky much, especially when it came to loving. I can make a list a mile long of all the things I've done wrong. If I did one thing right, it was pulling you out on the dance floor, locking in with your eyes, spinning you around, watching sparks fly in the middle of a crowded room. All I could see was you. If I did one thing right, baby, it was that night. You were the star till the end, from the moment that you walked in. Thinking now it's crazy how it turned around when you turned around. All it took was taking a chance and grabbing you by the hand. If I did one thing right, it was pulling you out on the dance floor, locking in with your eyes, spinning you around, watching sparks fly in the middle of a crowded room. All I could see was you. If I did one thing right, baby, it was that night. Oh, it was that night. Looking back, there's nothing I'd change. If anyone asked, you know what I'd say. If I did one thing right, it was pulling you out on the dance floor, locking in with your eyes, spinning you around, watching sparks fly in the middle of a crowded room. All I could see was you. If I did one thing right, baby, it was that night. Baby, it was that night.
And there it was, the latest single from Cort Carpenter. It's called One Thing. And Cort, what do you have planned for for Farm Jam? Have you started planning kind of what your set's going to look like or anything like that?
Yeah, actually just this past week we started digging in a little bit. I will have some new music out right around that time. I'm actually in a different position with my career since COVID hit. Some things are happening behind the scenes, which I'm thrilled about. And, you know, EP, we're looking at a single at the end of August or early September, right around Farm Jam, and then EP to follow. But just some different avenues I'm going to start going down, which I'm really stoked about.
That's awesome. Like I said, I'm always excited for new music, especially from you guys.
Right on.
But I'm not going to keep you guys too long today, but we are going to end it the same way that we end every other podcast, with kind of a special Final Four. Matty hasn't gotten to experience this yet. So 4 quick questions. Just kind of give us the first answer that pops to your mind. These ones are a little bit more specific to this and make you think a little bit more, so take your time if you want to. But let's go. We'll just go Cort, Jesse, Matty for all of these. Okay. So we'll start with you here. What are you most excited for after quarantine? Like after we get back to the new normal?
For me, it's just being in front of a crowd again, and you know, and singing to the fans, having them sing back to you. Doing virtual shows is cool, and it's a great alternative, but it's not the same.
How about you, Jesse?
Same. Getting back on the stage. This was going to be a big year for me originally, the biggest I've ever stretched out and actually toured, and it'll be great to get back out there and do that.
And Matty, how about you?
I'll shake people's hands, give them high fives.
There you go. That's solid. Okay, and then this time we'll start with Jesse. What part of Farm Jam are you most excited for?
You know, honestly, and this is not no kidding. I have a thing. There's one other guy I've seen from the Northwest actually come take off and do something. Seeing guys from the Northwest do stuff, to echo what Cort said earlier, is something special, because everyone's like, ain't nobody from Washington or Oregon play no damn country music. They're like, we do. and so that's it, to see people from this area be able to excel and not just say, hey, this is a Nashville native or a Georgia native coming up here to do it, to be able to bring that here and say, we're Washington boys and we are working our asses off to do it. That's something kind of big for me. And to see DJ Matty up there, Matt and I have been like that for several years now. So that's really my favorite part, is that I got a lot of connections in this festival to people, a lot of emotional connections.
How about you, Matty? What part of Farm Jam are you most excited for?
Just to be there, to keep the energy high. I know my job, so I just want to set the table and let those guys play, man. Let them do what they do.
Nice. How about you, Cort?
Just looking forward to playing, like Jess said, with some and Matty, just with a lot of the Northwest crew. I think Farm Jam has a lot of them coming in and playing, or several at least. So I'm just looking forward to being home in Washington in the Northwest and just, being back on stage for our first thing really back from quarantine. So just all of it, man.
Nice. Okay, and Matty, we'll lead you off with this one. Who's the first artist that you want to see when you get back out to concerts?
Oh man, I'm always been a Kit Moore fan. I love his live shows.
Yeah.
They're unique. They're always a treat. That's probably who I would like to see the first off. Yeah, and there's so many. I don't know, just anything live.
How about you?
Who's
Cort?
I'm looking forward to seeing Jesse actually play live. So that's my choice.
Why do I feel like Jesse's answer is going to be similar to that?
No, it doesn't have to be.
It's kind of true though, because national acts are really cool, and I don't turn them down. It's just like once I've seen them once, it's really cool. I don't know. I've always been let's see the guys that aren't always not on top 40 and stuff, and so like I said, there's two people that I was really looking forward to seeing in this, and it was Jesse and then and Cort as well. Those were the two people. I mean, it's not biased towards the region. It's just that I live down in Texas. I live down in Georgia. I know a lot of folks down there, and I know a lot of music down there. But when I get to see people actually get up on a big stage and really kick ass in a bigger venue and hear their songs, that's huge to me. So that's really like Farm Jam couldn't have come at a better time, especially coming out of this stuff. God willing.
That's what I'm excited for about at Farm Jam, is to get to see all the local folks, you guys, Jesse Lee, people that you don't normally get to see on a stage that size.
And I'm hoping definitely that they have like an elephant ear stand for me as well.
Yeah. That's what I didn't.
Just because you said that in the backstage area, I'm gonna bring a fryer and I'll make elephant ears if they don't, dude.
I'm gonna hold you to that, man.
I will. No, I will.
By the way, hey, I heard rumor that we're doing a Saturday night after party on the main stage, kind of like what they do at the Next to Nashville stage.
Oh, okay.
So Saturday night, Jesse's gonna have to hang out. I know Cort will be there, so
secret from Matty. I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Okay, here we go. Last question. We'll start with you, Cort, on this one.
Okay.
What's been your favorite thing to do while we've been in quarantine?
Musically,
just
or
in general.
anything. It's been cool actually to sit down and have quality time with my wife. I mean, it's cliche, but my wife, and we got a new dog, and just being home and even doing writing from home with the Skype writes or FaceTime writes or whatever. Those are easy to me, and I enjoy them, because you don't have to drive anywhere. You can just get on FaceTime just like we're doing now and accomplish the same thing. So just being home and kind of like disconnecting for a while has I've enjoyed that.
How about you, Jesse?
Similar to what Cort said, the biggest thing that I've experienced was really huge to me. I've been seeing my family so much. My kids, my daughter just graduated high school. She's going out in the world and she's an artist. So it's fun to see her grow and to be able to bond with them like I never have before. I mean, when I got out of the Army, 7 years ago, it was hit the ground running. And if I haven't been at work, I've been in the studio. If I haven't been in the studio, I've been at shows. And then we get some time together like that. And this, man, we've had this time together with each other that's been amazing. So
how about you? What's your favorite thing been since you've been locked down?
I've really been studying a lot of music, really polishing my craft. They call it woodshedding in the musical business, I think. I like to I tried the Facebook Live thing, do a DJ set Facebook Live, and I didn't feel comfortable at all. It's really hard to be a DJ when you're not putting your music out. As a live artist, you can put your stuff out there and people will listen to it. But I'm just playing people's songs. So to me, that didn't work, but sitting in and studying music and putting set lists together and mixes together, it was a good time. It was a good time to polish my craft.
Well, and Jesse and Cort, I didn't ask you about this at all. I know I said that was the last question, but I lied.
Liar.
But you guys both did some really long live shows and stuff like that. How was that?
No, they both did, man. I watched them all.
How is that different as an artist, being obviously with Matty, he feeds off the crowd for his music. Was it kind of awkward like that for you guys as well, to play live shows like that? I mean, obviously it's getting it out there, but you're not able to feed off the crowd as much.
Yeah, for me, it was it's definitely different. We've done probably like 8 or 10. One, I actually held a CMA Fest fan party because it's our 6th one. We had to do that a couple weeks ago, which was really cool in studio. But tomorrow, for example, we're doing another like live from my back porch or wherever the weather permits. But it's definitely a lot different. But it's something. So it's that's how I look at it, is like, hey, let's make the best of it right now.
How about you, Jesse?
Yeah, it wasn't a huge, it wasn't very weird, I guess. I had several messages, people reaching out to me like, this is a great distraction. This is really kind of what we really wanted and needed. And viewership kept, bumping up. And so the more I do it, the more it was bumping up. And I think we did like 35 days straight. And then I had to go to the weekends because I was just getting tired. it was cool to connect with people. I think I was inundated with messages from people that were just like, opening up, and we were talking through the issues that we all were having, so music does heal. It's a lot. Music is a wonderful, beautiful thing, and I think that it helps everybody cope. It was one way or the other, so it was good.
That's the message we're going to leave this on. Music is good, helps to heal people. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for taking the time, jumping on here. Excited to see you guys in person here in a couple of months.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, and it's always good to be with you, Ty, and Jesse and Matty. Great to be with you guys.
Yes, we're going to have some fun, guys. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was another episode of the Tea Party Podcast. It's the country music podcast where you find new friends and new music like Cort Carpenter, Jesse Quandt, and DJ Matty Parker.